Good afternoon, everybody. This is Michael Falk. I'm the Associate Director for Three Rivers Land Trust. This is definitely different than we've done in the past for our annual meeting. We're very excited that you've joined us live on Facebook Live, all of our followers. Unfortunately, we couldn't hold an in-person annual meeting. Every year we love to get together with you, talk about conservation, all of our conservation successes because of you, and things that are happening coming up in the future. So we do have some staff here that will look and see if we can figure out how to answer your questions if you have any. But if we're unable to do that, we will definitely jot them down and be in touch with you by messenger to make sure you get those answers for your questions. So the first thing we're going to go into a PowerPoint, and then we'll bring it back. We'll bring it back to me at the end. But I just want to say again, on behalf of the Three Rivers staff and board of directors, we're really very appreciative of your support and your commitment to local conservation. So with that in mind, we're going to start our annual meeting for 2020. All right, so welcome. I do, like I've already said, gave you your welcome. I do want to show staff introductions. The first one that you'll see is Travis Moorhead. He is our executive director for Three Rivers Land Trust. Unfortunately, he's not with us today, but he is doing what a good dad would be doing. He is watching his oldest son graduate. We're very proud of Matthew. Big shout out to him and North Stanley High. And we've missed him here, but I know he's having a good time with them, with family. Of course, me, Michael, everybody calls me Mikey Falk. It says executive, it should say associate director. Crystal Cockman is our director of conservation. She handles all of our conservation lands projects, and if it's had an easement on it, Miss Crystal's had her hand in it. So she is our longtime staff member and who we go to with just about every question. So next up we have Cody Falk. He is our conservation lands manager. Cody has a long history background in wildlife and land conservation. If it's mechanical, if it's a big rig, if it's anything to do with prescribed fire or habitat or wildlife in general, Cody knows it. I apologize for the for the sirens in the background. Next up we have Sam Parrott. He's our associate director of conservation. Sam was originally on the membership and outreach team, but he has moved over sort of be Crystal and Cody's right-hand guy. He's learning all about ArcGIS and working with easements and landowners, so we're real tickled to have him. Ellie Daniels, she's our Eastern Regional Director. She is over in the Southern Pines area. Ellie has a great background actually in law, but she is passionate about local conservation, passionate about local foods and agriculture, and we are so blessed to have her on our team. Next up, we have Brian King, who you won't be seeing today, but he is actually running the audio video for this live stream. We couldn't have done it without him. He is our Western Regional Director. He's handling all the chapters and everything over in the Western section. He is an avid fly fisherman and runner and hiker and sort of a jack of all trades, so we're really excited to have him. Steely Russell is our membership associate. Miss Steely came to us quite a few years ago and has just been a tremendous asset to our team. She was originally our administrative associate, and she's now moved into our membership associate. She has taken over the Sportsman Access Program and the Leopold Society, and is just doing a fantastic job with that. She also too has become a new hunter herself, and we're very tickled that she's taken over those programs. Tiffany Dorn, she is our administrative associate. She is a local of Rowan County. She came to us last year, and she keeps the office running and keeps us all in line, so we really appreciate what she does. And Valerie Osner, she is our stewardship technician. She does most of our conservation easement monitoring and stewardship work over in the Sandhills region. The first thing I want to bring to your attention is we actually had our board of directors meeting earlier today, and the board has voted to bring in a new board member. Her name is Jelena Banks. She is from Fort Bragg in Cumberland County. We're really excited to have her. Her background is an environmental protection specialist, Bachelor's of Science in Agriculture, Environmental Science concentration, coming from Oklahoma. And she also has a background in hydrology, conservation-related field work, and landowner relations. We're so excited to have Cumberland County represented on the board, and we look forward to her. She's also taking a big step, a big role, leadership role in our Cape Fear chapter. So 13-1, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, what's 13-1? So one of the big things we're proud of, one of the most proud moments that we have is for every dollar that you donate to the land trust, we can leverage it 13 times through whether that's grant funding or state or federal funding. But we make sure that your dollar that you provide for conservation, local conservation, is put to its best use, and that we make sure we can do more with it. So you're making a huge impact on local conservation. In 2019, we're happy to report that we conserved over 4,000 acres here in our conservation footprint. This was a huge feat, and we're just tickled that we were able to complete it. In the last 25 years, that will bring us over 40,000 acres conserved. And Three Rivers Land Trust, and you'll see in the upcoming slide, we did increase the footprint, so we cover 15 counties now. But being in the Piedmont in a rural area, that's a lot of acres, and we want to continue that trend. So what have we done in the last 25 years? Since 1995, we have conserved 15,500 acres of farmland conserved, 283 miles of river and stream frontage conserved, 5,714 acres transferred to the public for recreation. I do want to bring one of our biggest projects that we were able to accomplish in 2019, the permanent protection for Alcoa game lands. We did this as a joint project with Three Rivers Land Trust and the North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission. We were able to conserve 2,463 acres, including 45 miles of shoreline along the Yadkin and South Yadkin rivers in Davie, Davidson, and Rowan counties. We raised over $7.7 million to purchase this property. Us and other nonprofits and North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission. This property will have public access protected in perpetuity. It went to the North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission to remain in the Game Lands program. On this slide, I do want to bring to your attention, on July 1st, we officially merged with the Sandhills Area Land Trust. We're really excited that we expanded our footprint. We now cover 15 counties. We have our footprint expanded through Scotland, Hoke, Cumberland, Harnett, and Moore County. We're starting chapters over in that area as well, the Sandhills chapter and the Cape Fear chapter, which Ellie will be over. We've already hit the ground running. Crystal's done an amazing job with projects over in that area. I think after 2 weeks from merging, she closed a property, an 89 acre property, and that had been in the works for a while, so she officially got that done about 2 weeks. So we're excited to extend our conservation efforts over in that area. Membership and outreach. This is where we get to interact with you, with our supporters, with our donors. So since 2019, we have reached over 1,700 members. I can remember when I started back in 2016, and we had around 460. So this is a huge accomplishment, and it says a lot about folks and their desire to support local conservation. We also have expanded chapters across the conservation footprint. You heard me talk earlier about Brian King being the Western Regional Director, and Ellie Daniels being the Eastern Regional Director. They have started chapters just about in every county. I would encourage you to go to our website, look them up, get in touch with them, so you can be a part of local conservation and you can have sort of be our eyes and ears and work with our regional directors. We hosted signature events such as River Dance and Uwharrie Trail Thru Hike. The Uwharrie Trail Thru Hike is probably one of our most waited for event every year. We open registration usually in February. It's not till October. She's pretty much full up. We're currently right now we have over 100 people registered, and we look forward to having that. Unfortunately for us this year, we have had to cancel or postpone a lot of our fundraising and events. That includes River Dance coming up this year. This has been pretty heartbreaking for the staff. It has gone on for many years. It is a staple, sort of our end of summer celebration of all the conservation successes that you help make. But due to obviously the pandemic that we've had to endure, this was not a hard decision, but we have postponed it for next year. We've also connected over 1,200 people to our region's natural resources, whether that was paddles or hikes or runs, our Mountain Creek Conservation Run, kids in the outdoors, sportsmen in the field. We have made it our mission to connect those folks to those local conservation efforts. So we're really pleased to be able to get everybody outdoors. Next up that I do want to talk to you about, our Sportsman Access Program. This is a very unique program. It's first of its kind for any land trust in the state, so we're really tickled about that. It is a permit draw system similar to WRC's permit draw system. Members are able to sign up and actually put in for draws, and when they are drawn, they get their particular block for about a week's time. What makes this so unique is their money that to become a member goes straight back into local conservation, and that is something to be very proud of. We have members across 8 states, including Nevada and Pennsylvania. And this year, we've added 700 acres across 3 properties in Moore County. We're also recently featured on Carolina All Out, that actually airs in the Raleigh market. So we had a commercial there. We will be having our next drawing coming up August 15th. I'll have to make sure Steely reminds me if that's the exact date. But that'll be looking for that early muzzleloader season. So we look forward to having more Sportsman members join on and enjoy the outdoors. The Leopold Society is one of our youth programs that we are just really blessed to be able to present to schools. This year we partnered with the Susan Sharp Memorial Scholarship Fund. That is can be used a couple of different ways. When Fur Fish and Game Camp over in Ellerby at Millstone was in effect, and probably has just been postponed for the year, that we were able to give those scholarships to some worthy participants after an essay, but we are also looking at giving scholarships to some of our students who are involved in the Leopold Society. We've got over 250 students that are enrolled, and this past year we conducted outdoor events, included tree plantings, habitat studies, and in-classroom conservation education efforts. So upcoming events, the very first thing I want to show you is we missed one of our big events that is going to be happening next week to put on here, so I apologize for that. But starting June 20th through the 26th, we're actually having our Swing Into Summer virtual invitational golf tournament. That particular tournament, we're really lucky and very appreciative of a few of the courses across our footprint. First up is Pinehurst Resort. They graciously allowed us some tee times on the number 1 course and number 5 throughout the week. We also have Red Bridge that is over in Locust. We also have the Revival at the Crescent here in Salisbury and Corbin Hills here in Salisbury. So it's a really easy way to get outside, still practice social distancing, enjoy the great outdoors. Proceeds, the majority of it, of your enrollment fee for your team, it's a 4-man team, 4-lady team, or co-ed, will go to the Land Trust to help further our local conservation efforts here in our footprint. So I would tell you, go to our website, check out, get involved. Under that would be upcoming events, and you can go to our Swing Into Summer website, webpage that will give you all the details. We look forward to having you out on some of the local golf courses this coming week. Next up would be September 5th and 12th. Those are our dove hunts. In the past few years, we've had Sportsman dove hunts that have been really successful. We definitely are big components of habitat management and stewarding our own lands. So some of the fruits of that becomes our dove hunts. September 12th is the Mountain Creek Conservation Run. It is actually open for sign-ups at runsignup.com. So you can go ahead and sign up for that. That's over in Ellerby. October 2nd is our rescheduled Conservation Classic that falls over at Hyatt Sporting Clays. That's a great time to get out with a team and shoot some clays for conservation. October 10th is our Rocky River paddle race that was postponed. It was in March, and we're bringing it down to October 10th. Fingers crossed, water levels and everything will work out for us, so we can have that paddle race. October 15th to the 18th is the ever popular Uwharrie Trail through hike. There are still some slots available, but I would tell you they're going really fast. So if you want to participate in that, that's the completed 40-mile the historic Uwharrie Trail, and we do it over 4 days. On October 24th is actually our Rowan chapter Yadkin River paddle and sweep, clean sweep. Our Rowan chapter was graciously awarded a grant from Salisbury Community Foundation to help fund this, and we look forward to expanding our reach and letting folks know about the conservation efforts here, and especially in the Rowan County. We have a great chapter, and we would love for you to join. One thing I do want to talk about is we were recognized statewide this past year for the North Carolina Wildlife Federation's Governor's Conservation Achievement Awards. We were actually awarded the Land Conservationist of the Year. The award winners are nominated by the citizens of North Carolina and decided upon by a committee of scientists, environmental educators, and conservation activists. It is the highest natural resource honors awarded in the state. This came as a very, very pleasant surprise. We are very grateful for the nomination. We are very grateful for being awarded. We put all of our time, our efforts, sort of blood, sweat, and tears into local conservation, and we felt very honored to be recognized for that. We actually received the award up in Raleigh, and yeah, it was, like I said, very great honor. So what's next? What are we going to be doing this year, coming up in 2020? So looking ahead. On the docket, coming up in 2020, we're hoping to conserve 1,700 acres. Crystal Cockman, she has lots of projects on her plate, and she's looking forward to keeping the ball rolling from the big success we had in 2019. We're also going to be working towards conserving Phase 2 of the Yadkin River project. This needs to be closed by September 2021. This is the second phase. if you saw in the earlier slide, we were able to conserve the High Rock section. But this section now is, and if you can see on your screen, the Tuckertown property. That's around 2,420 acres and 31 miles of shoreline. This is one of the biggest conservation projects altogether in the state of North Carolina. We're actively fundraising, actively reaching for support. This is also, a lot of this was included in the game lands and public access, so we want this to remain that way as well. Steely's looking to expand our Leopold Society into our eastern region. We're really excited. We've been working with Moore County and their schools. They're looking to have a natural resource curriculum, so we're really excited about getting into those schools to bring the Leopold Society. We're graciously awarded some grants from the Sandhills Rotary Club, and we look forward to getting more kids outdoors and doing conservation related activities. Develop our communication platforms to better inform our donors and supporters is actually what we're doing right now. This is a very new thing for us, but we're lucky to have Brian. He's come on. He has a videographer background as well, sort of very tech savvy, which some of us are not. So we look forward to bringing you more videos, more content. We actually have a videographer intern coming up in this summer from NC State. So we want to be able to bring, especially in these sort of turbulent times, to be able to bring you nature, the outdoors, and maybe see some really interesting things that you may not even realize occurred in your backyard. So definitely reach out to us if there's something you've been questioning that's been burning on you and you want to know, or any kind of habitat or wildlife question. We're all ears. We want to make sure we have content that's relevant to you. So definitely reach out to me or anyone on the staff, and we'd be more than happy to accommodate it. So all of this, as I said, we're very proud of our accomplishments, but the one main factor of none of this, absolutely nothing that we did, would have happened without our members and supporters just like you. Conservation, it's not just one person. Conservation is a collaboration of many different organizations and many different backgrounds and many different interests. And thankfully, conservation has a big umbrella that everybody can fit up under. And we're so supportive, or so appreciative of all the support that we've gotten across our 15 counties to be able to see these natural areas, these rural landscapes that we're so blessed to have in the Piedmont and the Sandhills, be able to be here for the next generation. So we're going to be wrapping this up for today. I really appreciate you tuning in. I know, like I said, this is a very different way of doing our annual meeting, but we're excited about what 2020 is going to bring for us. We're excited to welcome our new board member. We're excited to visit with you once we're able to get into bigger groups, and hopefully we'll be seeing you soon, whether it's in the office, on the trail, or in the water. So thank you, and if you need anything, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. On behalf of myself, the staff, our board of directors, we thank you for supporting local conservation, and we really are very thankful and appreciative of you supporting Three Rivers Land Trust. Have a great day.